Hello students, Logan Phillips here, Professor P, your guide to computers and technology. Today we're going to be working with the McGraw Simnet environment. We're going to be working on the Microsoft Office 2016 PowerPoint 4-2 project. So let's go ahead and look at the files that you should have downloaded from online and see what we'll be working with today. So it looks like we have a start file. It should be your last name, first name at lovesongs-04. We have a MP3 or something, some type of music. We have our instruction files for Guided Project 4-2. And we have some other WMF files and a picture of a violin. So with these files done, let's go ahead and open up our instruction file, see what our outcomes and expectations are going to be for this particular lesson. Now, realize that everything builds off of everything else. So if you haven't done the previous 3 chapters worth of projects, you might have some difficulty. But with this, we're going to be covering a few different skills. We're going to flip and rotate a shape. We're going to align objects within grid lines. We're going to apply objects and adjust the stacking order. We're going to use the slide master to change background shapes and slide layouts. We're going to use the slide master to change theme fonts and text effects. And we're going to apply picture bullets, and we're going to remove a picture background. So we got some pretty interesting, cool pieces here. Some information for you to go into this. When you're working in PowerPoint, think of it like working on a desk. And everything can be layered on your desk. I can set my notepad down and put my laptop on top of it. I can put my wallet below my notepad to hide it. And I can hide things, a little bit at a time. So I can stack stuff up in a 3-dimensional world the same exact way that I'm going to be stacking stuff up inside this PowerPoint. So that's something to keep in mind just to get your thinking going in the right area. Now let's open up our start file, see what we're going to be working with, and see what it looks like. All right, our start file is Love Songs from the Big Screen SPCCD Summer Concert Series on the Quad at American River College, May 19th, 2018. All right, so this looks like our 5 slides, nothing too big. We're going to be dealing with some smart art graphics. We've got some tables in here, pretty bland backgrounds. Nothing too complex. Now, remember that as I read through these instructions, I keep a dual screen system. So my instructions will be on one screen, and the PowerPoint presentation that I'm working on will be on the other. You guys are seeing what I'm working on, not the instruction file. I strongly suggest that you print off the instruction file and read along with me, keeping pace about where we're at. Sometimes I make mistakes and I go back and modify them. I'll tell you, hey, I made a mistake on step 3. We're going to go back to step 3A and fix that particular mistake. Or hey, we're working on step 6, 7, 7D, whatever step we're on. I will read those to you, try to keep you up in where we're particularly at that point. Now, my first step is always to save this to my background or to my desktop. So I'm going to hit File, Backstage View, Save As, Browse, and I'm going to choose to put it on my desktop. And I'm going to leave the name the same. So we've now done steps 1 and 2, and so we're going to go ahead and go to so we've done step 1. We're going to go to step 2, and we're going to click on the Slide Master button, which is on the View tab. We're going to come over here to the Master View side, or grouping, and we're going to do a Slides Master View. So you have organizations where you can organize things specifically. Remember when we do an insert slide, you can do slide, title, placeholder, those type of stuff, title, content. You can actually build your own slide layouts directly from the Slide Master or modify how the slide layouts look for when you create new slides. That's called Slide Master. So with the Slide Master selected for this project, we're going to make changes to 4 of the different layouts that we have here. So when I create a new slide, I want it to be the exact same layout every time. So on step 3, we're going to align the placeholders within a grid. So we're going to select the first layout, which is the Office Theme Slide Master used by slides 1 through 5. All right. We're going to select the slide 1. We're going to select grid lines on the View tab. So let's go to View tab. We're going to look at our grid lines, which is in the Show grouping. Notice that now it gives me a nice grid overlay over the top of everything. Your people that you are presenting to will not see this grid. This is specifically for you to arrange stuff on your desktop here. And you'll have to forgive me, I'm getting a little cotton mouth going through this is like my 6th or 7th lesson. All right. So we are on step 3B. We've selected the grid lines view. We're on 3C. We're going to return to Slide Master tab and select the title placeholder. We're going to press the down arrow several times so the top of it is even with the first horizontal line. So we got the title placeholder selected. We're going to use our down arrow, and we're going to move this to where it's in line with that first dotted line. And of course, horizontal runs left to right. We're on step 3D. We're going to change the title placeholder size. We're going to use the Drawing Tools Format tab. So Drawing Tools Format tab, and we're going to change our height in the size grouping. And we're going to do a height of 1 inch and a width of 13.33 inches. Next, on step 3E, we're going to align the button using the Drawing Tools Format tab, Arrangement Group, and we're going to align this to the center. So it looks like our new title runs the full gambit of the slide itself. In step 3F, we're going to change the shape fill to dark red, accent 6, darker 50%. So Drawing Tool Format tab, we're going to come over here to the Shape Styles grouping. We're going to choose a Shape Fill, and we're going to do a dark red, accent 6, and we're going to choose darker 50%, so it should be the very bottom one. There we go. And in step 3G, we're going to change the font to Gabriola. So with it selected, we're going to go Home tab. We're going to choose the font grouping. We're going to choose from Calibri, and we're going to modify it down to Gabriola. It was Gabriola, right? Gabriola. There we go. So it's actually a little hard to read when you get down there. It's pretty small font. They are in alphabetical order, so just find as close as you can. There we go. Now, I have Friday Night Lights. You may not have that, but it probably is between French Square and Gad Uji. So Gabriola is the font format we're looking for there. And then we're going to turn it to a 60 point. So in the font grouping, 60 points. And I'm going to open up my font grouping dialog box launcher, and I'm going to change this to a bold shadow. So let's change this to font style to bold and a shadow. And so for our shadow, we're going to come back over to the Drawing Tools tab, the Format tab. We're going to choose a Text Effects, and we're going to drop a shadow. Let's see. And I'm just going to choose bottom right because it didn't say anything else. And we're going to change our character spacings to loose. Which you'll find on your Home tab in the font grouping. You'll see the A to V, and we go from very tight to very loose. And so we're going to change that to loose. Now, I made a mistake here. I only had selected the one ending piece. I'm going to select the whole placeholder again and make sure I've done this correctly. Home tab, character spacing, you can see wasn't modified. And then I had on my Format tab, I had my Text Effects, and I had shadow, and we had an outer shadow. So I had mistakenly not selected everything. I'd only selected one piece of the range there of the characters. We're done with step 3. We're now moving on to step 4. We're going to insert and rotate a decorative image. So we're going to click on the Pictures button tab on the first layout. So let's go to Insert. We're going to choose a picture, which is on the Images grouping on the Insert tab. We're going to find those resources we downloaded from online. And this is Project 4-2, I believe. And we're going to look for Vine 1-04 and Insert. So it looks like we have a little splash of color here. Next, we're going to increase the image height to 4.5 by going Picture Tools Format, Right Size Grouping, Height. And we're going to change it to a height of 4.5, hitting Enter, making sure the width automatically adjusts. And we're going to Rotate button. So let's go ahead and go to the Arrange grouping. We're going to choose to rotate this and flip horizontally. and repeat and choose rotate left 90 degrees. So rotate left 90 degrees. One more time. All right, we are now on step 4E. We're going to align this picture. So with the whole picture selected, we're going to go to the Picture Tools Format Grouping tab. We're going to come over here to the Align Arrange Grouping, and we're going to align to the top. And we're going to choose to align to the right. Putting this in the top right-hand corner. Next, on step 4F, we're going to click the Bring Forward drop-down arrow. So let's go here to Bring Forward in the Arrangement group. And we're going to bring this how far forward? Bring to front. So remember what I said about desktops, where we can stack things on top of each other. So we just stacked this at the very top of this slide. So no matter what, it's going to show. We're now in step 5, and we're going to add a rectangle and adjust the stacking order. We're going to select the title slide layout, the second layout. So here's our title slide layout. We're going to click the Shapes button. And we're going to select the rectangular tool. All right, so let's go Home tab into our drawing group. And we have these different shapes, and we're looking for the rectangle tool. Let's see, and draw a rectangle, height about 4.5 and width 0.33. So let's just draw this real quick, and I'm come up to my drawing tools format. I'm going to do a height of 4.5, and I'm going to do a width of 13.33. I'm going to hit enter. And we're going to align this by the drawing tools tab, align, and we're going to align top, align center. Now you can see here this is taking up almost the entire top and everything is covered. So we're going to move this around. We're going to change the shape fill. So let's go here to Format Group, Shape Styles, Shape Fill. And I'm on step 6 or 5D at this point. We're going to do a black background 1. Next we're going to change the shape outline by going to Format tab, Shape Styles, Shape Outline. And I'm going to change this on steps 5E to no outline. And then I'm going to arrange this by clicking to send backward, and I'm going to send this all the way to the very back. All right, we are done with step 5. We're moving on to step 6. We're going to adjust some placeholders. We're going to select the title placeholder on the title slide layout and change the font to 80 point. So we're on the title font layout. We're going to select the whole title. Let's go ahead and make sure that's selected with our white dots around it. Home tab, font grouping. We're going to change this to an 80 point font. And we're going to change the title placeholder width to 9. So let's go to our drawing tools format time. A width of, instead of 10 inches, we're going to choose a 9 inches. And we're going to align this with the arrangement grouping, a line, and we're going to align top and align center. Make sure it's dead middle to the very top. All right, on step 6D, we're going to change the shape fill, which is the drawing tools format tab, to no fill. So let's go to the format tab, shape styles grouping, shape fill, and we're going to choose a no fill. Next, let's select the subtitle, and we're going to bring this forward, and we're going to bring it all the way to the front. So arrange grouping on the format tab, bring forward, bring to the front. Now we are done with step 6. We're moving on to step 7. We're going to insert a decorative image, and we're going to use our grid lines. So we're going to click on the Pictures button on the Insert tab. We're going to insert a picture. We're going to look for Vine 2 and insert it. Let's drag it down so we can actually see what it is. All right, we're going to click the Launcher button from the Picture Tools Format tab. So Picture Tools Format tab, let's find that Launcher button. And open up the Size Grouping Dialog Box Launcher. And we're going to deselect aspect ratio. So let's remove the lock aspect ratio there. We're going to increase the vine image size to a height in the Format tab, size grouping to a 2.5, and a width of 11. And let's go ahead and close this Format Picture Tools dialog box. All right, we're now on step 7F. We're going to use the grid lines to judge spacing, moving the vine image to the center of the gray area at the bottom of the slide. And because it has a little bit of extra image, it's not all peer centered. So if we're looking at this and the image, it looks like this picture should be about 2 bars in and 2 bars over to the right. So let's just move this around a little bit more. Somewhere right about there. There we go. Now the reason it's not centered for the placeholder, and we're not using it at center, is because this image has this white space to the left of it. So we want the image to be centered, not necessarily the placeholder. All right, on step 8, we're going to apply a picture bullet. So we're going to select the title and content layout. We're going to select the first 2 bulleted items. So let's go here, the first 2 bulleted items. Let's go up to the Home tab, the bullet drop-down menu, and we're going to change this to numbering, bullets and numbering. And we're going to click on Picture, bottom right-hand corner. We're going to browse to our resources. So From File, I know my resources are here on my desktop. And the is Note 4. There we go. So this is pretty interesting. If you're doing bulleted list, you can make a bullet list anything you want for the bullet. I've seen people put their own faces instead of anything else. We're now down to step 8E. All right, on step 9, we're going to use the grid lines. We're going to align some placeholders and change the text. So let's select the section header layout. All right, we're going to select the title placeholder here and change its height by Drawing Tools Format tab, height of 3.5 and width of 9.65. We're going to click the Align button in the Arrange grouping, and we're going to select Align Right. And we're going to move the title placeholder up so its top is even with the second horizontal line. So we'll just move it up just a hair right there. We're going to change the font size to 44 points. So Home tab, font size 44. And align text to the middle. So let's go ahead, paragraph grouping, align text to the middle. I'm sorry, for paragraph grouping, align text, middle, which is in the paragraph grouping on the right-hand side. Next, we're going to select the subtitle placeholder. We're going to change the font to Gabriola. So let's go here. I've recently used it, so it's there up at the top. Change the font size to 36. And bold with a shadow. So Home tab, font size grouping bold, Format tab, text effects, shadow. I'm choosing the very first one, outer shadow. And we're going to click the Align Text button, and we're going to select middle on this one as well. So Home tab, paragraph grouping, Align Text, and putting it in the middle. We are now done with step 9 J. We're going to do a step K. We're going to resize the subtitle placeholder and align it to the grid line as shown. So it looks like the grid line should be aligned just to the bottom of the box. And we're going to shrink this down to where it is aligned with the master word. And bring it up so it's grid line there. Okay. That is step 9K. We are now going on to step 9L. We're going to click the rectangular home tool. So let's go the insert tab, or I'm sorry, home tab, drawing tools. We're going to choose rectangular. I'm going to draw a random square or rectangle anywhere. I'm going to change my height on my format tab to 0.3. And I'm going to change my width to 13.33. So I got a nice long rectangular. I'm going to align this using format tools, arrange grouping, align. I'm going to align center. I'm going to do a shape fill. So drawing tools, format tool, shape styles, shape fill. And I'm going to do a black text 1. And outline of no outline. And then I'm going to move this around, making sure it is just above the title placeholder. We're done with step 9. We're now into step 10. We're going to copy an image from the slide master layout and paste it onto a slide. So let's select the very first layout. We're going to choose the image on the bottom or top right hand corner. Well, I'm going to hit Control C. And we're going to select the section header layout, which is the one we were just working on. I'm going to hit Control V. And now I'm going to modify and rotate this a little bit. So I'm actually use the rotation handle itself, which is this little half circle, and I'm going to rotate this. It looks like somewhere around this. So let's look at the image here. Rotate it just a hair. So it looks like we're about flipping it up, but going just a little bit further than a straight 100% flip. Trying to match up with their slide as best I can. It's not going to be perfect because we're doing it by hand. All right, we're done with step 10. On step 11, we're going to click the Slide Master tab and click the Close Master View. So let's go to Slide Master tabs. We're going to close this on the right hand side in the close grouping. And so now we have all kinds of stuff modified out. We're now on step 12. We're going to display slide 1. Move the subtitle up until the date is on the dark red shape. So let's click the subtitle and just click and drag it up, putting the date on the dark red. Next, we're going to display slide 2. In the slide, we're going to notice the bullets here. We're just looking at it, noticing that the pictures there, the bullets, everything's sort of modified to match what our masters were. On step 14, we're going to display slide 3. We're going to select the Smart Art graphic, and we're going to click the Change Colors button. So on the Smart Art Tools, let's see, Smart Art Tools, Design tab, Smart Art Styles grouping, Change Colors, and we're going to change this to a dark to fill. Let's see, which is the primary theme colors, dark to fill. And then we're going to apply the intense effect. There's in a format tabs, shape styles, shape effects, and then we should have an intense effect. I told you wrong, it is in the Smart Art Styles grouping, and it is intense effect of a Smart Art Styles. There we go. And you have to forgive me, I'm losing my voice just a little bit. So on step 15, we're going to modify a table. We're going to display slide 4. We have this table here with the wrong colors. It doesn't match anything, so let's modify it. We're going to select the whole table. We're going to click the More button on the Table Tools Design tab. And we're going to choose the table styles of More. And we're going to do a medium style 2. 1, medium style 3. Medium style 2. First column, second row. Now we're going to select the table text and change the font to Gabriola. So let's go ahead, Home tab, and we're going to change the font over to Gabriola. And 24-point bold. So 24-point bold, Home tab, font grouping. And we're going to resize the table slightly to align with the grid lines as shown. So it should be here on the left-hand side, just up to that first grid line, and modified on the right-hand side to match this grid line a little bit. And their picture on the instructions is a little blurry, but looks like they have it moved down and moved down. There we go. And so there's one full box between the title and the table. So let's go ahead and turn off the grid line. So let's go to the View tab, and we're going to go to the Show grouping and unselect grid lines. And we're on to step 17. We're going to insert and align a picture. So let's click on the New Slide drop-down arrow and select the Title Only layout. So let's go Home tab, New Slide, Title Only layout, giving us a new slide 5. The title is going to be Enjoy the Show! Exclamation mark. And we're going to choose a Insert Picture, so Insert tab, Picture button in the images. And we're going to choose Violin 4, inserting it. We're going to resize the violin, so size grouping. Right now it's a size of 5.75, and the width should automatically change to 3.83. So we're good there. We're going to align this, and we're going to align it to the left and bottom. Okay. And finally, we're going to our step 18. We're going to remove the background. So let's select the picture, go to Format Tools, our tab. We're going to remove the background on the left-hand side. Extend out my brackets, making sure that the whole violin is cleaned up. We're going to mark some areas to keep and keep changes. Alright, so we've done step 18 through A through F. We are now on step 19, review all the slides. So if we pop through them, it looks pretty nice. Everything seems to be showing up appropriately. We should have 6 slides. And finally, we're just finishing up. So we can go to our File Backstage View, File Save As. We're going to do in fact, I'm going to do a file save because I've already saved it to my desktop. Close out the presentation, upload it to Simnet, and you're ready to be graded. All right, this is Microsoft Office PowerPoint 2016, the McGraw-Hill Simnet Environment Guided Project 4-2. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. I'm here to help. You can reach me at Logan.Phillips1 at Tulsa CC. Give me a call at 918-849-1512. Come to my office at A132 at the Northeast Campus, Tulsa Community College. I hope you have a very fruitful day. Bye, guys.